Welcome to the Thrive Today podcast. I'm your media host, Natalie Born, and I'm the founder of Innovation Meets Leadership. We are a platform for women who lead and believe. And today we are sitting back down with Dr. Robert Watkins. He is the CEO of Conquer Worldwide and the author of Never Chase a Paycheck Again. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Robert.
I'm wonderful. So glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, today we're talking about wealth building. And in your article in our digital journal, I would love to talk a little bit about what prompted you to deal with this uncomfortable reality that we all face, which is the reality that our friends and family can sometimes be the very obstacle in front of us from being able to build the wealth we want.
Yeah. Just because someone grew up with you doesn't mean they're supposed to build a business or build wealth with you. And just because someone has your last name doesn't mean they have your best interest at heart. And business and finance is not emotional. And many of us are very emotional about our family and friends. But the number one distraction, according to Harvard Business Review, the number one distraction of business leaders is people and the people that are closest to us. And so when I go in and counsel with leaders of corporations and large ministries, the first thing I look at who's around them, who has proximity to them, because those are your biggest dangers or your biggest blessings. Wow. And so most people fall leaders because of the wrong people that are around them, and it hinders their wealth. And so, first of all, you have to be wealthy in human capital. The people that are around you, what do they bring to you? What do they bring to your organization? What do they bring? If they're just there for a paycheck, then they're draining you. If they're just there to make themselves shine, then they're draining you. And so I always like to use a formula, multiplication formula, to determine who has proximity to me. And it's very simple. If you are dividing or subtracting from my emotional state, from my brain cells, from me financially, then I can't afford you.
Yeah.
But if you're adding and multiplying what we're doing, then we need you. Then I'm going to sow into you. And so how do you make that decision? Well, it can't be emotional. And so many of us carry too many people on our balance sheets. We carry too many people on our payroll. We're paying people who are just there for other things other than multiplying and adding to what you're doing. So your wealth is going to be hindered. Yeah. And it's your fault because you're allowing people to detract and subtract from you. And so you got to make a strong decision to saying, we have to part ways. I love you, but I can't afford you.
Yeah, I think that's so hard for people. I think to love the person, but understand that you cannot have the financial entanglement. What does healthy detachment actually look like?
Well, for me, and I've been like a lot of people, I've loaned family members money who never paid back. And they all say, I'm going to pay you back. So my internal mindset is, can I afford just to give this money away and not see it again? Right? If the answer is yes, then I'll give it. If the answer is no, then I'm not going to give it. Secondly, make an announcement to your family. I do not give family members money. I don't loan money. I don't do it. So let's not ask me. If I give it to you, if I do something nice for you, then that's a gift. Okay. Mm-hmm. But let's not, because it's going to, as you said, entangle the relationship. It's going to make it awkward. It's going to make it weird during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And there's always one person normally that breaks out in the family. Maybe they go to college, they get a good job. Maybe now they're making $100,000 a year, whatever, and they're able to buy Christmas gifts for everyone. I say, don't make that a practice.
Yeah.
Last year, we said we're not giving gifts away, right? And of course, some people like upset, but I have done that several years throughout my life, right? And so our life is not Christmas. So the expectation now is not, wow, I'm going to get a brand new Rolex watch from Uncle Robert, okay? So that's not going to happen because you're going to have to earn that. Now, what Uncle Robert will do is tell you how to read a book or start a business or something of that nature to get your own. That's a great gift for me. But the point is that you have to lower people's expectations
Yeah.
in terms of what they expect from you, because your financial stress should not be my financial stress. And if I do help you, it's out of the goodness and the kindness of my heart, not because we're blood brothers.
That is a whole word right there because I think that that's exactly what happens. People take on the expectations of other people and they don't create healthy boundaries. And so there have been years, we've done it as well in the family where we're like, hey, this is not a year where we're doing X, Y, and Z, but here's how we can and will show up. And if you guys choose to show up differently, that's okay. But here's how we're planning to show up this year. Talk to me about something that I think is a big issue, which is co-signing. Let's talk about co-signing. What are your thoughts on that? Can you co-sign on this car with me? Can you co-sign on this apartment with me? What do you say to people when you get that co-signing question?
Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, especially for a car or anything that's really a liability, right? Now we can talk now co-signing versus joint venturing, partnering, where there's a return on investment. Now that's a healthy discussion.
Yeah.
But me co-signing for your car or co-signing for, something that's not making money, or because eventually it's going to fall on you. And I've got horror stories, including my own, that you co-sign for someone and you're their personal guarantee.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So some people just don't care about their credit report. They don't care about their reputation. They don't care about their standing in the marketplace. And so they'll just say to stop making payments on the jury. And so here's the thing about that. If someone needs a cosigner, that means they can't really afford it.
Yeah.
So you're putting yourself in a bad situation. And then there's just no way to win. So I'm totally 100,000% against co-signing. But if we're going to joint venture into a car wash or a hair salon, and here's my $500 and I'm going to make potentially $2,000 over the next 60 days or 6 months or something, that's a better conversation than me going on a loan, a legal document where the person really can't afford it. That's why I'm in the room, because that person can't afford it.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Yeah, so good. Okay, so how do you discern between supporting someone and enabling poor financial decisions?
Well, everyone was a struggling entrepreneur. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, right? He tells a story about him and his wife being on their garage floor, packaging books, and he had to put knee pads on his knees because they were so bloody. And he was getting book sales that were coming in through this new company called Amazon, which nobody wanted to invest in because the name was weird. He was weird. Nobody liked him. Nobody's going to do this. And so they were packaging these books and put them in his old Toyota and driving to the post office. That's how he started, right? Mark Zuckerberg started in a dorm room, right? So Robert Watkins started in the street, basically. So everyone starts there. But what's more powerful is clarity of vision. If you're able to present an irresistible vision to someone who needs money. Now, investors, they only make money when they invest money.
Yeah.
So everybody's looking for the next best thing, from Shark Tank to everybody on LinkedIn right now to me. Everybody's looking for the next Amazon, the next Facebook, the next whatever. All right. And so it's normally that struggling entrepreneur who figured out a gap in the market and says, somebody listen to me, please. Somebody pay attention to me. And then somebody, maybe at church or maybe somebody who's not even in the market, says, what would you do with $1,000? Oh my gosh, what would I do with $1,000? And now they got the uses of funds. They got a little business plan. And the struggle only continues when you quit. But if you continue to speak the vision loud, go on and post about the vision, be consistent about it and model the vision and keep showing up, eventually breakthrough will happen.
What are some principles that you would recommend around wealth building?
Yeah, well, the first principle is really understanding the difference between wealth and riches. What is wealth, right? Wealth is intangible. We think that a big house or a big car is wealth. That's not wealth, that's riches. You can't depreciate wealth. So the first thing we have to understand is I'm not trying to be wealthy. I'm already wealthy. Wealth is your vision. It's your idea. It's your It's intangible. It's the blessing of the Lord. It's what God spoke to you. It's your vision. And so that's what you hand down to your children and children's children. Riches are things like money, houses, and cars, but those things are attracted to wealth. Wealth is your purpose. Money is attracted to purpose. So the first thing we have to do is really understand what my purpose is, and that I'm already wealthy. So I'm not trying to be wealthy, because wealth comes out of you. It doesn't come to you. And the more wealthy minded I am, the more I can share about the purpose, the more money is going to show up. Money follows vision and purpose. It's just that key. And so we have to understand that I'm not going to be out here looking for money. I'm not going to be out here chasing money, because anything you do for money, it will stress you out. Money comes and money goes. Trust me, I'm old enough to know I've had millions, lost it, made it back again, lost it again. Here's what I found in all of that, is that what is perfect and divine is the purpose of God. And God always supplies my needs according to his riches and glory when I need it. Not one time since I retired from corporate America in 2002, that I missed a mortgage payment, a car payment, any type of payment, because I'm not chasing money. Money is now chasing me, because I know my purpose. Wow. And I stay in it. That makes me wealthy.
Wow, that's powerful. That clarity creates boundaries. What has been like the most helpful place in the Bible that you've gone to get a vision for what wealth looks like over riches?
Well, for me, I love Proverbs 10:22, which says, the blessing of the Lord makes you rich and adds no sorrow to it. And so I already believe, and I'm a guy who was born an orphan. I never knew my birth mother or birth father until recently. So I had to transition from having a orphan mindset, which is a poverty mindset, fearful, insecure, inadequate, abandonment. I had all these issues going on, as most orphans do. And they never, even as an adult, they never walk away from that orphan mindset. They're always afraid that somebody's going to take something from them, and if they do get married, that this fear that she's going to walk out the door, or he's going to walk out the door, and so they try to control everything, and they become narcissistic, trying to control things, and that's from a place of fear. So the transition had to be, I'm already wealthy, I'm already rich. God has already prospered me. And then I see over there what David said in Psalms 112, verse 3. He said that wealth and riches shall be in your house, and his righteousness endureth forever. So the transition was from that orphan mindset to a kingdom mindset that says that wealth and riches is supposed to be in my home. Wow. And God is supposed to be in my home. And so now anything less than that, I'm not settling for. And so, because now I know who I am as a king, as a priest, I know that the blessing of the Lord is upon me, and I'm not supposed to have sorrow, and wealth and riches is supposed to be around me. And so now when I paid off my home, it's like having a mortgage doesn't even make sense to me anymore. It's like, that was dumb. Right. When you experience that, but if all you know is hustling and going to the bank and trying to get a good credit score and saving money for 10 years to come up with 3% or 20% down on the house. And so now you're living according to the world's way and the world system, which is not designed for you to move up. It's just not. But your mindset is, I'm not depending upon anything in this world that is temporary. I'm depending upon God, and God's way is always different than the world's way.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
What you're talking about here, it reorients our life when we have a different vision for who God is, what he wants to do. And it gives you this focus that actually helps you think about your money differently. And that's what I'm hoping that everyone listening today is hearing, that when you have a different mindset and different mentality and a different focus, you actually begin to move in a different direction. Yeah. And then you need to surround yourself with different people who help you to continue to think in that direction, because you'll always have a group of people who want you to stay where they are and who are not growing, who are not moving, who are not continuing to build, and they want you to stay where they're at. And so sometimes what you're feeling and sensing, that transition, is actually you moving to a different level where you've got to surround yourself with different people. And I'd love to know what that has looked like for you in your life as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you spoke the truth. I could, if I would have stayed in that orphanage around the people who had an orphan mindset, I would have that same orphan mindset today. And so orphans hang around other orphans, right? And so they're uncomfortable being in a room when we're talking about vision, we're talking about the future. Orphans are like surviving for the day, even if they're adults. They're just trying to eat for the day, and they become hoarders. I can see an orphan in my wife, because if you go in their garage, they got cans stacked up to the ceilings because they're thinking somebody's going to come and take all their food, because, when orphans eat like this, because somebody's always going to come and take their food. But when you release that and say, I'm putting away this orphan mindset. And so now my conversation has to be different when you're around other kings or other people of wealth, or other people who are wealthy minded, because they're always talking about the vision. And so now you got to leave the fear and all that insecurity behind to have a different conversation. I live in Orlando now, and I went to Orlando Magic, NBA basketball game, and I was blessed to sit on the floor. Now I've sat on the floor where the players are like right there, and I've sat up in the nosebleed section where you can't even see what's happening down there, right?
Just dots.
Just dots moving around, right? And I just noticed the people around me on the floor, and I love people on the floor and I love people up there. I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but I'm saying the conversation is just different.
Yeah.
The conversation is, hey man, what do you do? I'd love to partner with you. Oh, you own a finance company? I own an insurance company. And the conversation is different. Man, we can help a lot of people. So it becomes about me helping other people as opposed to up there helping ourselves.
Yeah.
It becomes about paying off somebody else's house instead of paying off our own home, right? The conversation is different. And that's where wealth starts, and surrounding yourself with the right people. And God can do that, but he can't do it if people who have a wealthy mindset bumps into somebody who has a poverty mindset, and then that's why the relationship never blossoms.
Wow. Well, and that's powerful, why we need to change our mindset, because if we don't realize we carry this mindset, we don't realize the number of people we're repelling because we're not able to have a conversation at a wealth mindset level. We're having a conversation at an orphan mindset level. And that's why it's so important for us to dig in and do this work so that we can go to the next level in what God has for us. Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, my book, Never Chase a Paycheck Again, is still up there in terms of my bestseller. You can go to Amazon.com, get a copy of that. I'm all over the internet at Robert J. Watkins, on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So we'll love to meet them. Our website is conquerworldwide.com. And we are financing entrepreneurs right now from $100,000 to $500,000. We'd like to see more people get involved. Those resources are there. Don't be afraid of it. And we know you need capital. So they can go to conquerworldwide.com for more information on that.
Thank you so much for being here. Ladies, head over to thrivetoday.com for more resources, coaching, and content to help you grow. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to thrive.